Book review is A Man Thinketh by James Allen. James Allen's As Man Thinketh, first published in 1903, remains timeless gem in the realm of self-help literature. Though barely stretching past 30 pages in most editions, the book packs profound philosophical insights into the nature of thought, responsibility, character, and destiny. Allen's work is not novel in the conventional sense. It's reflective essay or philosophical treatise, but its influence on later personal development literature is immense. This review delves deeply into the book's structure, themes, style, enduring relevance, and critiques, offering comprehensive view of why As Man Thinketh still resonates over a century later. Plot summary is A Man Thinketh by James Allen is not a traditional narrative with characters and plot, but rather a philosophical and motivational essay that explores the power of thought and its impact on human life. Published in 1903, his short but profound work centers on the core idea that a person becomes what they think about. Allen argues that our thoughts shape our character, circumstances, health, purpose, and ultimately our destiny. The book draws heavily on the biblical proverb, "As man thinketh in his heart, so is he," and seeks to awaken readers to the immense creative power of their own minds. The essay begins by establishing the principle that thoughts are the seeds from which all actions and realities grow. Allen proposes that just as gardener must cultivate good seeds and weed out the bad to produce healthy crops, so too must individuals monitor and guide their thoughts if they wish to lead fulfilling and virtuous life. He insists that the outer conditions of person's life are closely connected to their inner world, meaning that success, failure, joy, and suffering are not random but direct results of mental habits and beliefs. Allen emphasizes the connection between thought and character. He suggests that noble and strong thoughts create a noble and strong character, while negative, impure, or weak thoughts build a base and weak personality. Every action originates from a thought, and repeated thoughts become habits that define one's identity. This leads to his assertion that man is the master of his destiny and the architect of his soul, regardless of birth or circumstance. He expands the discussion to cover how thought influences circumstances. Allen argues that life doesn't just happen to people, but rather individuals attract or repel experiences based on the dominant thoughts they harbor. A person with positive, confident, and kind thoughts will naturally find themselves in better external situations, while one who consistently indulges in negativity, fear, or anger will face hardship and dissatisfaction. This idea aligns with what would later become known as the law of attraction, although Allen uses that term. A significant portion of the essay is dedicated to the relationship between thought and health. Allen suggests that many physical ailments are rooted in mental unrest, anxiety, and negative emotions. He proposes that serenity and a cheerful mind contribute to bodily well-being, while anger, fear, and envy can lead to disease. Though these ideas might not align perfectly with modern medical science, they offer a holistic view of the mind-body connection that has been echoed in many wellness philosophies. The essay then addresses the concept of purpose. Allen claims that having a clear, focused purpose is essential for success. Drifting through life without direction leads to frustration and failure, whereas the person who identifies a purpose and commits to it with discipline and determination shapes their life in meaningful ways. Purpose, when combined with right thinking, becomes a powerful force that propels one forward. Allen also touches on the idea of achievement, stating that all great accomplishments, whether in business, art, science, or spirituality, originate from the quiet cultivation of thought. He encourages readers to strive for self-control, discipline, and integrity, as these inner virtues are the foundation of true success. External achievements are simply reflections of the internal virtues person has cultivated over time. In his closing thoughts, emphasizes serenity as the crown of life. He writes that calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom and the result of long and patient effort and self-control. The person who is inwardly calm can handle adversity with grace, command respect, and exert positive influence on others. True peace and strength, he argues, come from within. Ultimately, As a Man Thinketh is a guide to personal transformation through the conscious cultivation of thought. It encourages readers to take responsibility for their mental and emotional life, suggesting that by doing so they can shape their character, their circumstances, and their destiny. The message is both empowering and challenging. The mind is a garden, and each individual is the gardener. What one plants and nurtures in thought will inevitably bear fruit in life. Overview and structure is A Man Thinketh is structured into 7 concise chapters. Thought and character, effective thought on circumstances, effective thought on health and the body, thought and purpose, the thought factor in achievement, visions and ideals, serenity. Each chapter builds upon the previous, constructing a cumulative argument. Human beings shape their lives through the cultivation or neglect of their thoughts. The progression feels almost like a moral staircase, starting from internal character and ending with spiritual tranquility. Despite its brevity, the structure is tight and deliberate. Allen begins with foundational principle. As man thinketh, so is he, and explores its implications with clarity and repetition, helping the reader internalize his ideas. 2. Central themes: the power of thought. A most central and enduring theme is the creative power of thought. Allen posits that thoughts are not passive ideas floating through the mind. They are the active architects of one's character and life circumstances. This assertion challenges readers to reconsider how much control they truly have over their lives. He writes, "Man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts." This simple yet radical claim reframes external reality as something that emerges from internal processes. Allen rejects the notion of fate or random misfortune, suggesting instead that each individual plays the primary role in shaping their destiny through mental discipline and conscious intention. B. Responsibility and self-mastery. Allen's work insists on personal responsibility. There is no room for blame. Not on luck, society, upbringing, or genetics. To him, individuals are responsible for their thoughts and therefore responsible for their circumstances. This can be both empowering and daunting. The empowering aspect is clear. If you change your thoughts, you can change your life. The daunting part is the absolute accountability. Allen allows no excuses. He calls for rigorous self-examination and total ownership of one's mental world. See the unity of mind and body in Effective Thought on Health in the Body. Allen presents the novel idea that the mind and body are deeply interconnected. He suggests that fear, envy, anger, and sorrow can all negatively impact physical health, while cheerfulness and serenity promote well-being. While some of these claims lack scientific nuance, modern research in psychosomatic medicine and stress biology validates the core principle. Allen's insight here was ahead of its time, anticipating the modern focus on mindfulness and holistic wellness. The purpose and vision. Allen emphasizes the need for a clear purpose in life. He warns against drifting or aimlessness, urging readers to focus their mental energies on a worthy goal. Purpose acts as the organizing principle around which thoughts should coalesce, he states. They who have no central purpose in their life fall an easy prey to petty worries, fears, troubles, and self-pity. This idea, echoed in later works like Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Me, speaks to the human need for direction and intention. Allen adds that once a person has vision, they must hold to it with unwavering focus, their thoughts and energies aligning behind it until it becomes reality. 3. Language and tone. Allen's tone is serene, poetic, and quietly persuasive. Unlike many modern self-help books that use personal anecdotes or motivational hype, as Man Thinketh adopts literary and philosophical style. His language is formal, often biblical in rhythm and clarity. Consider this passage. The soul attracts that which it secretly harbors, that which it loves, and also that which it fears. This style may strike modern readers old-fashioned, but it also gives the book meditative, timeless quality. Allen avoids jargon and writes with aphoristic power, condensing insights into memorable lines. However, some readers may find the lack of concrete examples or modern storytelling a challenge. The text is abstract, offering principles more than step-by-step instructions. This is not a how-to book, it is a contemplative one, meant to inspire reflection rather than guide action. 4. Enduring influences. Man Thinketh is widely regarded as one of the foundational texts in the self-help and personal development genre. Authors like Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and more recently Rhonda Byrne, The Secret, all owe philosophical debt to Allen. His emphasis on the power of thought laid the groundwork for what would become the law of attraction movement, though Allen himself does not make mystical claims. The book's ideas have also influenced life coaching, cognitive behavioral therapy, and the field of positive psychology. While Allen did not use scientific language or formal studies, his assertion that thoughts shape emotions, behaviors, and outcomes aligns closely with modern psychological models. 5. Critiques and limitations. Despite its wisdom, as Man Thinketh is not without limitations. Oversimplification of suffering. One of the most commonly cited critiques is Allen's treatment of suffering and misfortune. By suggesting that negative circumstances are the result of negative thoughts, the text can feel harsh, even blaming. There is little room for systemic injustice, mental illness, or trauma in Allen's model. He writes as if all suffering is self-generated, an idea that, while empowering for some, may come off as insensitive or unrealistic for others. In modern times, readers must approach Allen's work with nuanced understanding. Yes, thought influences life greatly, but not exclusively. Other factors such as environment, support systems, privilege, and mental health also play a crucial role. B. Lack of practical guidance. Some readers may wish for more actionable advice. Allen's writing is inspirational but abstract. He doesn't provide techniques, exercises, or concrete steps for changing thoughts. The book functions more as philosophical sermon than a workbook. That said, its conciseness is part of its appeal. It invites reading, contemplation, and personal interpretation. 6. Relevance in the modern world. Over 120 years since its publication, as A Man Thinketh remains remarkably relevant. In an age dominated by information overload, mental distraction, and anxiety, Allen's quiet message, "Master your thoughts, master your life," rings clearer than ever. His advocacy for inner peace, clarity of purpose, and moral integrity offers valuable antidote to the noise and speed of contemporary life. In particular, idea that serenity is virtue, not sign of weakness or passivity, but a true strength, is one that challenges modern notions of success. Moreover, with the rise of mindfulness, meditation, and cognitive behavioral approaches, Allen's core message finds validation in modern science and psychology. His work bridges the gap between ancient wisdom and modern mental wellness. 7. Final thoughts and personal reflection. Is A Man Thinketh is not a book to be read once and set aside. Its insights deepen with repeated readings, and its brevity allows for this. It serves more as a companion than a manual, compass rather than a map. Reading it can be a humbling experience. It asks us to examine our inner world honestly, to take responsibility for our attitudes, and to commit to continuous mental cultivation. For those ready for that journey, Allen's words can be transformative, but it also requires discernment. The reader must balance Allen's uncompromising call for self-mastery with compassion for self and others. Not all suffering is chosen. Not all circumstances are self-created. Yet how we respond, the thoughts we nurture in the face of those challenges, remains our choice. Conclusion. James Allen's Man Thinketh stands as timeless meditation on the human condition. It challenges us to look inward for the causes of our outer world and invites us to take the reins of our thoughts, actions, and destiny. Its poetic language, philosophical clarity, and moral earnestness have ensured its place among the classics of self-help literature. Though it may not satisfy readers looking for modern examples or scientific explanations, or those willing to reflect deeply, for seekers of wisdom, clarity, and self-discipline, as Man Thinketh is powerful and enduring guide. It is relevant today as it was in 1903.